Rain hammered the empty highway as Daniel Mercer drove alone through the forests of northern Pennsylvania. A veteran 911 dispatcher, Daniel had spent years answering the worst calls imaginable. But tonight, he wasn't thinking about work. He was thinking about his younger brother. 3 years had passed since Eric vanished without a trace. Then, the radio burst into static. A frightened voice whispered, "Please, don't hang up this time." Daniel's blood turned to ice. It was Eric.
Daniel jerked awake behind the steering wheel. His SUV sat motionless on the shoulder of the highway. The dashboard clock read 3:02 a.m. He frowned. Just seconds earlier, it had been 2:17. 45 minutes had disappeared. Before he could process it, his phone vibrated. Unknown number. He answered. Only breathing. Then, 3 saw.
Following his instincts, Daniel noticed an abandoned gas station hidden beside the road. The building looked dead. Rusted pumps, broken windows, a flickering sign that shouldn't have had electricity. Then he saw them. Fresh, muddy footprints leading inside. Against every instinct telling him to leave, Daniel stepped through the broken doorway. Dust covered everything. Years of silence filled the empty building. Then, an old emergency telephone rang. Its sound echoed through the station like a scream. Daniel slowly lifted the receiver. A familiar voice answered. 911. What's your emergency? It was his own voice. Before Daniel could speak, another voice came through the line. The voice led Daniel to an old storage room. Fresh symbols had been carved into the concrete floor. As the temperature dropped, he noticed an old cracked mirror. Something stood behind him. A figure made entirely of darkness. Hundreds of tiny mouths moved beneath its skin. Daniel spun around. Nothing. He looked back. The shadow slowly raised one finger, pointing downward. The mirror exploded. Hidden beneath the shattered mirror, a wooden trapdoor. Daniel forced it open. Rotting stairs disappeared into endless darkness. Every step groaned beneath his weight. From below came whispers. Children, parents, strangers. The staircase opened into an impossible underground chamber. Thousands of telephones hung from tangled roots above. Each one rang at random. Standing silently in the center was the thing waiting for him. The hollow listener. A faceless figure made from living darkness. Its skin rippled with countless whispering mouths. One mouth opened. You could have answered. Another whispered in Eric's voice. I waited. Every unanswered cry, every ignored plea, lived inside it.
The whispers became unbearable. Daniel collapsed to his knees. Then he remembered. The emergency flare inside his vehicle. With trembling hands, he struck it alive. Brilliant crimson light flooded the chamber. For the first time, the hollow listener screamed. Its body peeled apart into ribbons of shadow. Darkness recoiled from the light. Daniel ran. Behind him, the creature never gave chase. Instead, it whispered one final promise. You'll answer eventually.
Daniel burst back into daylight. Sheriff's deputies surrounded the abandoned station. One of them stared at him in disbelief. "We've been looking for you since Tuesday." Daniel froze. Tuesday? He had entered the station only hours ago. Nearly 48 hours.
Back home, Daniel finally did what he'd avoided for 3 years. He deleted Eric's final voicemail. For the first time, the crushing guilt lifted. "I'm sorry," he whispered. The apartment fell completely silent. Or so he thought. As Daniel walked away, his reflection remained inside the bathroom mirror, standing perfectly still, watching him leave. Then, it smiled. Not Daniel's smile. Somewhere inside the apartment, an old telephone began to ring. A familiar whisper drifted through the darkness. 911, what's your emergency? Fade to black.